Warning! This podcast contains amazing content
and strong language.
Not any complaints though. They can go to fuck.
Yeah, they'll be
So-
deleted. We won't read.
Instantly. Spam folder. Hi, I'm Natasha Jenkins.
And I'm Juliana Hopkins.
And you're listening to Back Catalogues. Today we have Aslihan Kyle. Hi, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to us all.
Hi, I'm Aslihan Kyle. I'm a singer based in Brussels. I make music. I make tunes.
What got you into music?
I started, to be honest, I started singing like my mom keeps telling me that I started singing before I could talk even. So and then there's always music around the house and stuff, so it just kind of happened naturally that I got into music. And then I started piano lessons quite early on at like 6. And singing lessons as well, and then it was part of my life, so I continued. Started with like charity gigs with my dad. He plays guitar, and then school concerts with my band when I was in school.
Nice.
And then eventually in uni decided to do music, and so here I am trying to make a living out of it.
Very nice. Very nice. I didn't know your dad was musical. I just knew he was Scottish like me, Glaswegian.
Yes.
But
Scottish and musical like you.
yeah, oh great. I already said this, like I want to meet Big John one day. I've heard so much about him.
Absolutely will meet him.
What genre was your first band in school? What were you playing?
Oh. So when I first joined them, they were looking for a singer, and they were like, "Oh, we heard you sing," and I said yes, and they're like, "Cool, join us," and I was like, "Okay." So 15, and I think the first, it was like we did one song a year at the school concert because there was a lot of different bands. The first year, I think we did like a Sum 41 song.
Oh.
We started off like rock, and then by the last year, we'd like written our own song with the band, and our drummer decided to start rapping, so we had like 2 raps in the song, and I did the chorus, like a singy chorus, and it was a bit like, at that point we went hip-hop R&B vibes.
Nice.
And that's just kind of like the direction. I've always been in R&B soul music myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Grew up on jazz fusion with my dad's influence and stuff, so yeah.
I know that you'd studied, like, was it biochemistry and
Yeah.
was it biochem? So what made you swap over to music from doing that first of all at university?
Yeah, so it was immunology and pharmacology that I was doing at Strathclyde University in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is such a big jump.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what fueled your jump to music? Was it just like, oh my god, this is bullshit, I don't want to study this, or like, what made you jump to the creative industry?
It wasn't even that. It was when I finished secondary school, I gotten into a couple of unis to do biology. Like, it always made sense for me to do biology. It was like my top subject in school, and it was just a sort of common sense, like, do something that will pay you.
Yeah.
And so I but like by the time I'd finished my exams and stuff, I was having massive doubts. I was like, do I really want to do biology because I want to do music as well? And at that point, like in my head, it was like it's an either or thing. So I still went and did my first year in Glasgow, but it was an interesting experience. It was a bit difficult, like leaving home, because I just turned 18 when I left, and turns out I got very homesick, and I didn't handle it too well, and shit like that. So and what was there was one thing where I was convinced that if I do a degree in biology, then I can get a job that will like, you know, help me support a career in music later on in life. But then I had a chat with one of my classmates who was working part-time at the Apple store, and he said that 3 of his full-time co-workers were people who had done a degree like ours. So they'd done some type of biochemistry degree, and I was like, oh, so there aren't like all the opportunities that I thought there were. And that just kind of like, that made me panic a bit. And I was like, if I'm going to struggle to get a job, I'd rather struggle in what I actually want a career in.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense.
So I decided to do the switch. But here we are, 5 years on, and I've apparently left the industry that is now booming to enter the one that is currently dead. So
oh shit, of course I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you know, everything happens for a reason though. Like you would have been so unhappy, and like if you knew back then that early on that you didn't really want to do it, you're better off not doing it. Do you know what I mean?
And you have to follow.
I absolutely don't regret it. Like I'm very happy. It's I told my mom this. It was like I think at that point it was a choice between like what's going to make me happy, and now the next step is like, how am I going to support myself? But at least I've got the happy established, you know.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Rather than doing it the other way around, that like, you know, money first and then figure out how to be happy with it.
Yeah, money's not all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure loads of us would rather be poor and happy than like rich and unhappy. Like, you'd be like in a job in a field that you don't necessarily want to do, but with money. And it's like, well, you probably wouldn't even have the time to spend the money that you would make doing biochem or doing Bike Bios or whatever.
You'd always have regrets, anyways, to not have done what you wanted to do, because you wouldn't know what the outcome of what would have happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I would have always had that what if, and now I know that I'm not gonna have that what if. Like I don't regret any of my life decisions, to be honest. I'm just like, they got me where I am now, and I'm kind of like the person I am now, so I can't be mad, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
and we'd have never have met you or known you if you didn't decide to do music. So
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Not knowing it, impossible.
Now playing Visit by Aslihan Kyle, and I make music, by the way.
On my mind when I'm busy, sweet side, 'cause you check on my business one night, drive me home when it gets late, be mine, 'cause you don't mind I stay late, dark eyes, always hyped when I visit, sweet side, 'cause you like that I visit one night, take me home when it gets late, be mine, 'cause you like when I stay late.
So you're living in Belgium now, right? What's the music scene like in Belgium?
Music scene in Belgium is, to be honest, there's a lot going on. Like it's very interesting. It's lively. There's a good community. There are some good communities around, and it's really cool if you can get into them. I was lucky enough that there's this sampling beat making event. There's a version of it based in Brussels. I think it started in Canada. It's called Loop Sessions.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I'd been a massive fan, like following them from afar, like when I was in London, trying to get back to Brussels for an event if it ever coincided, but I never did. And then I came back in March for last year for lockdown, and they did an online version. So I took part in that, and I love the community that came out of that. They're one of their co-founders. She's been like really cool. Like she liked my stuff, and so she interviewed me in December when I participated in the second iteration of the online version and stuff. And like it's a really nice community to be a part of. It's like all it's just about supporting and sharing the music and stuff, and people like get to know you really quickly once you get into those places, and it's really chill. It's the thing about Belgium is like everyone's pretty laid back.
Yeah.
So just like the other day on Saturday I went out and I bumped into a huge Belgian pop star that's just like chilling on the square drinking with where everyone else was drinking, and she was just so chill. Like,
did you say something, or did you just look and walk?
She knew the people I was with, but I didn't want to like interfere. But
Yeah. Hi, you don't know me, but hi.
I'm not gonna be that person, so I'm like, hi, respect you from afar. Yeah.
Respect you from afar. That's amazing.
Smart.
That's cool that it's laid back, like especially like studying in London and knowing how sort of, you know, you've obviously studied with us in London and you knew how upbeat it is and how fast it is and how everybody's so sort of fucking ambitious and don't really, there's not a sense of community, even though it's a massive, like the music industry in London's huge, it's just like not really a sense.
That's the thing. I think people in Belgium, they're ambitious as well, but they're not like rude about it, and they're not like in your face about it either. A lot of the work is done in the background, and then you see the results and you're like, oh, you guys have done a lot, and it's like we're vibing, you know, like
we're vibing. Yeah, like laid back about it. No, that's cool. That's really cool. That must be good, especially if you're becoming, you know, you're sort of finding your foundation there because you're living there now. You'll be able to sort of grow all your networks, like yourself, and everyone sort of respects everyone. That's cool.
Yeah, that is good.
So we saw on your Instagram that you asked people to send you prompts to write songs about like what they've sent you. And it's been so well received, like by all your followers and stuff, and they're amazing. I always watch them.
Yeah,
and they're
very
really
cool.
You're such a great songwriter. Like to be able to do something like that is amazing. Do you think that in order to be a sort of talented songwriter, you need to do writing exercises such as that, like have a prompt?
Yeah, I absolutely think that. Like, I've never progressed as much as actually this summer when I one of my best friends, a songwriter from Mexico. Her name is Isabella. She sent me. I can't remember the author's name, which is terrible because everyone knows their name. But it was a better songwriting or something like that. Same author as Writing Better Lyrics.
Oh, the one you told me to read. You remember when we FaceTimed at Christmas? Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. You told me to read that.
You guys.
I haven't read it yet. Just gonna tell you that now.
It's a good book. She sent me it for my birthday, and we started doing the exercises together, like at distance. So it was like it goes in like 15-day blocks of time during which you do exercise, like writing exercises.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my songwriting has never improved more than it did then. So
really?
I've been trying to like keep up writing exercises, and I thought it's fun doing stuff out of the book to an extent, but it's more interesting to be actually interacting with people. And I absolutely knew that my followers would give me absurd suggestions.
Yeah.
Especially since my brother is there, and every time there's something really wild, he gets all of his friends to like it. So it's the one I have to do.
Yeah.
So the last one, financial regulation.
Yeah, that's the one I was watching again.
Yeah,
today.
that was really cool.
Yeah,
You can do it, honestly.
A feminist song out of financial regulation as a prompt.
So what, your brother is like your brother, you've told me all about your brother. That sounds funny that you get all his friends to join in too. That's cool.
Yeah, that's why the first one was anime bitches.
Yeah.
I got all of his friends to like it, and I was like, shit, I gotta write a song about anime bitches now. How do I make this interesting?
Well, you did it.
You did it. That's cool. That's good. And I mean, it is good that it makes you more confident within songwriting, and it's a very, and I don't know any musician that's ever done anything like that before. Like I think all of the people I pretty much follow on Instagram are musicians, and I've never seen another musician be able to do it and execute it as well as you have, because I don't know how the fuck you do that, but
I think that's the thing, though. The reason why it appears well like executed, I'd like to think it is well executed. But the reason why it comes off that way is because no one does it. And that's the thing. Like the first few times I posted, I was terrified. I was like, oh, what if it's like shit? And then I realized no one's doing this. And even if it's bad, it's pure entertainment and people are going to enjoy it, you know. And the feedback has always been positive. So I was like, oh, okay, I found something here. Like, you know, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, people don't see much of that. So they want to interact with it. You know, if you're asking them, what do you want to hear? Tell me like some words and I'll make a song about it. People are going to interact with that.
Yeah, I've only actually just recently started seeing, but not like just not just like a word or like a topic. Like I've seen on TikTok that they do like scenarios, like POVs, like point of views, and then write a song about that. But obviously on TikTok is only like at like 60 seconds or whatever. So with yours being like that little bit longer, it's just so good. Like, and do you play all the instruments that on the when the back, like all the instruments in the background? Do you come yourself and play it?
I do all the production, mixing, and mastering, if you can consider the master on the track. It's been a good exercise for uni as well, because I'm like doing my degree in sound engineering, so it was a good way of practicing that as well. You know, it's like get faster at mixing, because I don't want to spend too much time writing a song for Instagram, like a 60-second song. So I'm like, let me like write it, produce it, and mix it fast, like get it done in a day. That's part of the challenge as well, like getting it done fast, which also like stops you from getting in your head too much, because you don't have time to. You're like, nah, I gotta get it out because I have other shit to do.
Yeah. Would you ever like take the songs that one of the songs that you've posted and expand it to like a full 3-minute song, like, and release it?
I've actually considered it. There have been a couple ones where people were like, "Yo, you should make a longer version of this." I think it would be interesting. Maybe in the future, like once I get a few more of these done, maybe I can like pick the top ones and expand them and then release that as a thing, you know.
You do like an EP, like a prompt EP or something. Like these are all prompts from my like followers. I think people would probably vibe with that.
Yeah, definitely. People would love that.
Yeah.
Now playing Anime Bitches by Aslihan Kyle.
She got that double bass ass, cheeks like Flynn, and her face is the same man. I don't think I meant to ask, but how'd your eyes sparkle wider than mine can, huh? And how'd your hair flow whenever the frame pan, huh? It's not fair. Introduced with an innocent flair, that l'air douce, what they say in her air. Cause she got that double bass ass, cheeks like Flynn, and her face is the same man. I don't think I meant to say it, but like I bet she smell like cotton candy too. And I bet she got another friend or two, and I bet they like to grab a drink or two. But shit, they're like cartoons.
That's cool.
What instruments do you play then? Because I saw some videos where you're playing guitar and...
Yeah, I was gonna say I play the vocals.
Nice.
I say that because like a lot of the stuff I do at some point involves vocal stacking. Like I enjoy using my voice as an instrument and treating it like that as well, like putting it through distortion and stuff like that. Which you don't necessarily hear, but sometimes I do it and use. The last one I did that and used my distorted voice as the bass. You can't tell it's a voice anymore, but I did that.
Oh, that's so
That's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And so vocals is my main instrument, but I play keys as well. And I play guitar and bass enough that I can record and then edit it and it sounds all right.
Yeah.
I don't actually play the takes particularly well, but I can edit it well enough afterwards that it sounds good.
Can you tell us a bit about your recording and writing process for your releases with I Make Music, by the way? Our very own James McManus.
James McManus. He's up.
Go upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's up in his room. If I shout loud enough, he'll hear it, but I don't want to do that because then he'll come downstairs and annoy us.
He'll be listening to this soon.
Yeah.
Crying.
He won't. He'll
No,
be
I'm
fine.
joking.
Wait, don't say that yet. We have an EP to finish.
Oh shit! Oh shit! You'll have time to plug yourself later. Don't do that now.
Yeah, with James, so I Make Music, by the way, it's really it started because like I posted something on my story at the start of last summer saying anyone who wants to collab, because I had the whole summer free, I had nothing to do, we were in confinement. I was like, send me a message, and he sent me a message and he sent me a beat and he was like, would you be interested in writing over this? And I'm obsessed with the fact that his productions are like mainly bass bass, you know? Like bass is my favorite instrument by far. I can't play it for shit, but it's my favorite instrument and I love it so much. And so I'm obsessed with his productions and I was like, oh shit, yeah. So that's how it like started. And the main, I don't do a lot of, I actually don't do any of the musical elements in our collaborations. I think one time I may have asked him to like cut a verse in half or something, but that's probably about as far as my input goes in that aspect of it. But otherwise, yeah, usually I tend to write about stuff that's happening, that's relevant to me at the time. I'll listen. My usual process is I'll never listen the first time unless I have something to record. Because I like the first time I listen, I like to record like top line ideas and like phonetics and stuff that might go in. In French, they call it like faire du yaourt, like doing yogurt. You literally just like whatever comes out, it comes out.
Like verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I like the there's. I feel like the first time you listen to a song, there's a stronger connection to it. You know, you're really discovering it. So I like catching that and then basing what I write later on that. Sometimes during that point of the process, I'll like start coming up with ideas of sentences and stuff or words that go into that I want to like fit in specific places, and those might inspire like a development in the lyrical ideas. But usually the lyrics always revolves around stuff that's happening at that point in time in my life.
Okay.
And if I like doing based off that, then afterwards I like also like doing a free write and stuff, like a 10-minute free write, just so I get things out. And even if I only keep like a sentence of it or even less than that, it gets things out, so I'm at least I know what I'm not going to be writing about, or I have something to go off of.
That's cool. That's like journaling and then taking like a sentence from like an excerpt of a journal or something.
Yeah, I like this process. Cool. It is cool.
That's like an interesting
stone. It's therapy and music at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah, and then if you think of anything, then you won't forget it later because you've written it down. You can go back to it.
Ah, that's cool.
That is cool.
It's like fish. It's like sieving through the shit for a gem. Do you know what I mean? Like you gotta.
I do that a lot. There's a lot of shit that comes out, but the more shit comes out, the more gems come out as well.
Yeah.
So you're like, after a while, you start enjoying the shit because you know a gem's gonna come out after.
That's amazing. I've never heard someone have a process like that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I like
cool.
it. I like it a lot.
That's very cool. Very nice. So obviously, like you've collabed. You know, you said you like collabing with people. Do you ever see yourself releasing independent music without collaborating with other producers?
Yes, I'm actually working on an EP at the moment. They're working on it's been on pause for like a while. I think the first song I wrote 2 years ago, and then it's just been a very slow process of me actually putting all of the stuff together. But the concept is pretty intensely thought out now. Like I wanted to actually make like a project that makes sense and the tracks are related to each other and all of that, rather than just writing songs and then putting them in a list and that's an EP, you know? So this project, I have most of the drums recorded by James Luxon, who's at ICMP with us.
Oh yeah.
The player is Wes Burton, who's also at ICMP with us. I've got a friend here who's going to be mixing it, and all of the production and vocals, etc. I'm handling that aspect of it. So.
Nice. That's tense. That's like a big project.
So the drums were recorded in London, and now you're recording like vocals in Belgium.
Drums and bass were recorded in London, and everything else is recorded in Belgium. And all of the post-production stuff is going to be done here in Belgium. So before my first EP is even out, it's already international.
Nice, girl. I like it a lot. That's cool.
That is really cool. So if you could collaborate with any musician that's still alive, who would you most like to collaborate with?
I think because I'm going through a massive phase of this, I'd love to work with Tyler, the Creator.
Oh,
like,
that would sound sick. Yeah, you guys.
Like I was talking about, I want to make like projects. I love the way he just packages of stuff, and it just all makes sense in itself. And I love it. It's like beyond music. It's like art, you know. He's straight up making art, and yeah, I'd love to work with someone.
There's so many layers to Tyler's songs. Like you have so and like I think if you were to look at them like recorded individually, you'd like none of these should go together, but they all do. And you're exactly right. It's art because it all works so well. Like I think he's a genius. He's just so good. I would love to hear that collab.
Yeah,
to be
same.
honest.
That would sound really good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So Tyler the Creator, that's cool. That's very cool. So we know you can speak like 4 languages because you're that fucking mental. Do you ever see yourself writing and performing your music in different languages other than English? I mean,
I already have.
Really?
on the first loop session, I did a shit beat. My computer crashed on me 13 times during the I think it's like 5 or 6 hours we have to do the beat. My computer crashed like 13 times. I think it was Logic, and then I realized I had to update it, so I lost time updating Logic. And I was like, oh, this beat is shit. I need to save it somehow. And I was like, how better to save it than to write in a foreign language? It immediately sounds impressive. And like songwriting, like lyric writing is a bit of a strong suit of mine. So I can like improvise bullshit real quick and it sounds alright. So I wrote in Turkish over it.
Oh shit, yeah, I think I remember that from the loop session.
Yeah. That's it was the first one I did like I think it was in May then. Yeah. So it was May 2020. I wrote in Turkish over a beat.
Would you ever release it on your own projects, like in any other languages? Like, do you think that that's like beneficial to musicians in their career to be able to sort of switch between languages?
I don't know about particularly beneficial. I think to me it would be beneficial. I have been thinking about that. Like I'm already thinking a couple projects ahead, and I think to me it would be beneficial just because it's authentic, you know. Like I would love to write and perform a song in Turkish because that's how I express myself with my mom. Like half the time when I'm with my parents, I'm speaking Turkish, you know. So it's a language that also flows really easily. There's something really pretty and poetic about Turkish. I think English and French don't quite compare to it in the flow, but this is as a native, you know, like it just like flows so naturally when you speak it.
Yeah, and every language has such different metaphors and you know, expressions and everything. So it's so different writing and
and that's something I love about Turkish. It's very visual. So even and I love this as like a native who didn't grow up there, so my vocabulary is somewhat limited, but there's something about Turkish that makes it really flexible. So you can express visually what you're trying to say and people will understand, even if it's not an expression that exists, you know, they get it. So there's something really flexible about Turkish like that I really enjoy. Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice. And I think it'd be cool to sing in French as well. Like I tried it recently and it turns out I have a bit of an English accent when I speak French.
Really?
But sing it's not quite that bad. So
So wait, what are the 4 so you speak English, French, Turkish, what else do you speak?
I speak a bit of Dutch. I can't say I'm fluent. I get by. The fortunate and unfortunate thing about Flemish speakers in Belgium is that they absolutely will pick up on your accent, and if your accent is English, they will switch to English. They might not do it if your accent is French, but if your accent is English, they'll switch to English, so you never really get to practice much.
Oh yeah. That's annoying.
That's cool that you speak so many languages.
That's crazy.
But yeah, writing in French would be cool as well. I love it when like there's like a French chorus that comes in or something, or just like a line or two, you know.
I put like a little sentence in the first prompt I did, Anime Bitches. Like there was a line where it was said "t'as l'air douce" is what they say in her ear, and like one of my best mates, he's a French speaker, and he like lost it. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited! You put that line in, plus it rhymes. What the fuck?"
Literally, like the whole rhyming aspect would just fuck me up, like because if you're translating it, like if I was like when you're translating it back to English, you would be like, okay, I have to make it rhyme in the other language but makes sense. Like it just confuses, like my brain can't process that. Like it just confuses me how you sit and work out all the rhymes.
But if you were adding a French phrase in, you probably wouldn't write it in English first, you'd write it in French straight away.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like as English is my mother tongue, I would have to be like translating to check it to make sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why I would be like, how the fuck? Like this is why I'm like fascinated by you. I'm like, what the fuck? You're like,
I think it's easier since I've internalized like French quite a lot. I speak it since the age of 4, so like it's internalized enough that I can find the rhymes and all that in it.
Yeah, you're so fuck. It's like amazing. Honestly, you're like a rare Pokemon. Like, fuck.
One of the best compliments I've ever received.
Yeah. You are like amazing songwriter and in 4 languages. Like what the fuck? Fuck off, Aslihan. Get to follow.
I'm just culturally confused. That's it.
Do you have any advice for songwriters or musicians who are just starting out?
Just do it. Honestly. 1, do it. 2, put it out there. There's no point doing it if no one's going to hear it. And you might be scared of judgment, but honestly, no, don't be. Like, you know, most people are, in my experience, most people aren't actually that as judgmental as you might expect them to be. In fact, they haven't been really judgmental. And those that are, like, who are they anyway? You know,
literally.
It doesn't matter.
That can happen. Like,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's good. That's good advice. Like, I feel like if you try and please, you're always going to piss someone off. You can't please everyone, so you may as well just do what the fuck you want. Like,
and also if you're trying to please yourself as well, another piece of advice would be don't continuously wait to get better. Because I did that for a while. I was like, oh, I'm not good enough. I need to get better. And then I started posting stuff and I was like, apparently I'm good enough to get positive feedback, and that's all I really need. You know, I can get better while still posting stuff. You know, you don't have to be the best to start with. Like, no one's the best from the start. And I'm saying that as someone who hasn't even released their own projects yet. So, you know.
Yet.
Exactly.
What you're saying, yet.
But feedback helps you get better anyway. So if you don't put it out there, you know, it's more difficult to progress. You know?
Yeah. If you don't put it out there, you know, giving yourself the opportunity to gain confidence. You know, like the prompts thing, I was terrified at first, and then I realized, oh, this is fun and people are reacting well. And suddenly I believed that I was probably not too bad a songwriter. I'm like, oh, maybe I got something going here, you know.
Oh, yeah. Give yourself some fucking credit. Yeah, definitely. Do you going back to what you're saying about posting stuff online, do you think a consistent presence on social media is a necessity to succeed in today's music industry?
Well, to start with, who am I to say, because I don't think I've succeeded.
No, of course, but
yeah, I think
about it. Because if you're posting most of your stuff on Instagram before you've posted it on, you know, Spotify or whatever, you're obviously going to have to deal with the, you know, the notifications and the sort of like the tail it takes on your mental health. And do you feel like it's the bad side of the industry now that you kind of have to have more of an online presence permanently?
I think it depends on what you use your online presence for. Because I absolutely get that thing about mental health. I keep deleting Instagram. Like, I think for the past 5 months, no, that's a lie. For the past 2 months, I haven't like downloaded it for more than a week without deleting it again, because it just stresses me out so much. I used to post so much of my stories and stuff, and now I'm remembering the stuff I used to post on my stories. And I'm like, why did I put my private life out there like that? It's really disturbing. But I think there's 2 ways you can use social media as an artist. Either you can use it to use the algorithm and grow your audience and stuff. And in that case, yeah, you're going to want to be posting consistently and like fitting the algorithm and shit like that I don't have time or mental energy for. Yeah. Or what I've been doing is using it as your CV. Like, your social media is your CV. If people ask you, oh, are you a singer? What do? You want to direct them to your page and they can find out for themselves, you know.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, because
I found that so useful with the prompts. Like, I've gotten an insane, an unexpected amount of opportunities way faster than I expected just because I had a CV on my social media.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't need to prove myself. Like when someone's like, "Oh, you're a singer. What type of music do you do?" I don't have to explain or anything. I'm just like, "Here's my page. You can see what I do," and it's a lot more efficient than trying to explain and shit like that.
That's super interesting. We've never had an answer like that about social media, actually. That's really, really interesting to say. It's like a CV, which is so true. Like, it's the first thing people do, and what you just said, the first thing people do when they look you up is they stalk your profile or whatever you want to call it. Like,
so go for the videos and so they can hear.
That's why I barely ever post photos anymore, because to be honest, I'm in sound, I'm in music. So if I'm posting something that doesn't have music attached to it, then I don't see how it's benefiting my CV, It's just more of my face. And like, there's so many of my face on my Instagram. I'm getting sick of it,
That's so
like some music with it so that it makes something, there's something.
That's so like a crazy way to look at it as well. Like, because you get so many people who their whole life revolves around what they post on Instagram, and half of it's a fucking lie anyway. Like, it's not true what they're posting.
It's a very fake platform. Well, social media is in general anyways.
I feel like with tech, I was like never going to go on TikTok, and then like I downloaded TikTok the first lockdown and got like not obsessed with it, but like will happily scroll. But then I've kind of came to terms with why I'll sit on TikTok, and it's because I'll scroll and I'll never see someone that I know, so I don't put pressure on myself. Whereas on Instagram, I look at everyone's lives. Everyone's doing so fucking well. They're looking so good. Everybody's not, they would never openly admit to being struggle about having struggled through the lockdown. Whereas if I go on TikTok and I scroll and I see hundreds of other types of bullshit, but it's not one person I know, so that you can just disassociate yourself from it. And I think that I've only just came to that realization. And it's like, I will just have times where I just like don't even want to open the Instagram app because of that. And it's like, it's so nice to see someone as a musician only posting when they've got music to show, which is like super cool. You have connotations direct between music and Instagram, which is like, I don't think anyone in our sort of age has ever said it like that. So
that's true.
Yeah, also like I think I've gotten more like almost prudish about what I post on Instagram. Like I don't want my life out there anymore. I don't want people to know everything about my life.
Yeah.
I just want to know what I do. Here's what I do.
That's a super nice way to look at it. I think it'd be very cool to have more people like that. But then all the influencers that sell you shit diet pills and shit green tea would have no life. So. What would they do?
That's another reason that I like keep deleting Instagram. I also like I downloaded TikTok at the start of confinement as well, and then deleted it pretty quickly afterwards. I only used it for the background filter in my prompts. Until TikTok moved their logo from down here to up here, so you can't crop it out anymore. So now I use something else. But that was another reason why I started deleting Instagram, is because I realized that through like scrolling all the time, I realized that I was becoming a content consumer rather than a content creator. And I want to be a content creator. I want to make stuff. I don't want to okay, you need to consume to an extent.
To create.
Inspired, but the shit that you're consuming on Instagram half the time is not going to inspire you. Like I'm watching dumbass videos and influencers are, like you said, suggesting diet pills and shit like that. And I'm like, this is not going to help me get anywhere in life. Maybe let me just delete Instagram and write a song instead.
It's a good way to do it.
It's a good way to do it. It is just mindless scrolling, really. At the end of the day, like sometimes you don't even realize you've opened the app and you're there, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
It's terrifying. Yeah.
Now playing Intentions by Aslihan Kyle and I Make Music, by the way.
Tell me again, do you like the softness of my skin? I've not heard it enough. Tell me this then, you'll be back here in the morning. Reassure my thoughts, 'cause I worry I'm on the fence. Who do I convince of my intentions? Tell me again how I mattered to you deeply. I'd like to hear it more. Tell me this then. Will you miss me if and when I leave you for my home?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Do you think you'll move back to London? Come back to us.
In an ideal world, I to be honest, I like being based in Brussels.
Okay.
Very much enjoy it. Life quality is better for me here. And it is home. There's something about Brussels that's just like so familiar. It feels so nice. Even the shit parts, I like going through them in a bus because I'm like, oh, the architecture is beautiful, you know. But yeah, I think in 5 years' time, in an ideal world, I'd be still based in Brussels, but I do intend to like travel to London quite. Hopefully, there will be need for me to be traveling there regularly because like I intend to keep collaborating with people from there and stuff. And yeah, I'd like to be like traveling, collaborating, making some kind of living off of what I do. Good art, that would be cool.
Nice. Nice. I would hope we get to see you more.
Yeah, you can come here when you want. So.
Yeah.
Got somewhere in London if you need.
I might hit you up on that. I'm planning on coming to London in July. So.
Ooh, okay.
We've got a living room
and we've got a sofa bed. Oh yeah.
Might steal it for a few days.
Yeah, of course. That's our house is like the fucking DOS house. People just come here. They just come and go.
It's a lot of fun. What music are you listening to at the moment?
At the moment, let me check my Spotify likes.
Everybody does this. They pick their phone up and they're like, oh my god, I can't remember what I'm listening to.
There's too many things.
Recently I landed on Jack Garrett's The Love You're Given.
Okay.
Oh my god, I've been rinsing it. It's so good. It's just so good. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so good. Yeah. I don't even know what style it falls into, but it's so good.
Very nice.
Otherwise, yeah, I've been going back through like a Daniel Caesar, Kanye West, Mac Miller, Tyler, just those types of vibes, you know.
Yeah.
Good for spring and summer.
Nice, yeah, for sure. Have you got any new releases or shows coming out that you want to tell us about? This is the time to plug yourself.
This is the time to plug. I do have a release coming out with Max Secret.
Okay.
A guy he was also at ISNP.
Max, I do. Yeah,
we know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that's his stage name.
Okay. That's what I know him by, so it should be.
Yeah, but we've got a release coming out in end of June, I believe.
Okay.
And yeah, that one's gonna be cool. It's a bit of a darker vibe.
All right.
Okay. But I'm looking forward to it coming out.
Nice.
That's the only release right now that's like that has a date and a certain and stuff. Most of the other stuff is in the works. There's too much stuff that's in the works and that has not yet come out. Hopefully we'll be changing that very soon.
Yeah, but that's okay though. Take your time with it. You know, if you want to take your time to make it right and stuff, then fucking do it. Like,
yeah, and you've been talking about 2 EPs, like that takes time to work on as well.
And you're studying full time, doing a master's.
Yeah. So I'm not great at balancing stuff. So because I'm studying, like everything else is basically on hold.
Yeah. You're gonna but that's okay though, because you don't want to roll yourself too thin and then rush to the deadline because you're fucking.
Yeah, I'd rather do like a few things well than everything mediocre.
Yes, exactly. Don't roll yourself too thin. You'll fucking run out of steam.
Yeah. So how long is your master's course? Is this your first year or your second year?
It's my first year. Normally it's a 1-year master, but I've postponed my thesis to next year. Okay. So I have, I think literally 20 odd days left of class before my final jury, and then a few like legal exams after that, and then next year thesis.
That's intense.
It's intense right now.
Yeah. I don't think
every day I'm mixing.
Oh my god, I don't think I could ever go back into the uni setting ever again. I've done my education for this life. It's the door shut on that part. No, thank you.
It does teach you to meet the deadlines though.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but like
in a very stressful
way that's not helpful.
The night before you're like, oh, fuck.
Oh yeah,
I had a year to do this.
Also, like Juliana, I don't know if you've like ever have you ever done the Francophone school system?
Yeah. I was in the.
It's like more aggressive as well than the English.
Intense, like, and they're like, here's all these subjects, like every single one you have to.
Yeah.
Is that what when you're in school? Oh yeah. You get like exams.
And even in uni, they give you like loads of subjects as well. I remember I was studying philosophy at uni in France, and it was like it wasn't just philosophy. You had to do like history and this and that,
like a major and some minors like subjects, like.
Yeah, and I was like, I haven't picked this, leave me alone. But yeah, they're like, no, you have to do it.
What the fuck? That sounds super intense. Good luck though.
Yeah, good luck with all your exams and production stuff.
Yeah, that sounds fucking intense. Like, and when your releases come out, obviously we'll share on all of the social media platforms.
Yeah, definitely. So could you tell all our listeners where they can find you online, like Spotify, Instagram, everything?
Yeah. So you can find me on, well, exactly what you listed, Spotify and Instagram. It's Aslihan Kyle, so ASLIHAN space KYLE.
They will find you easily now.
Yeah, and you spell your name, which is good because I know people always like call you fucking weird names. They never get it right.
I've had so many different spellings of my name that now spelling it out is just, it's standard procedure.
Yeah. So you can find Back Catalogues on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor. Where else?
Spotify, did we say it?
We said Spotify.
Okay. Everywhere.
And then social media platforms, we have Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and is that right?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
We've got all of them, but Twitter's dead though.
Yeah, so we never used the Twitter. The Twitter's shy.
I think we posted on that once.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not a vibe. Instagram though was a vibe because content creators and all that shit. So
yeah, and for our listeners, you can email us b2b catalogues@gmail.com if you have questions or if you'd like to feature on the show or recommendations or anything.
Not any complaints though. They can go to fuck.
Yeah, they'll be deleted. We won't
instantly. Spam folder. So yeah. Well, this has been Aslihan Kyle. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's been so nice to speak to you.
I know. I feel like it's been ages since I actually got to have a chat.
So. It has been ages. It's been you guys as well.
Oh, bless you, Tom.
For inviting me on.
Oh, of course. We are a little back to back. It's a cute wee thing we do. So.